You know, when couples come in to work with me and there's been an affair in the relationship, the number one problem that occurs within that couple trying to recover is who is totally responsible for that affair. And more often than not, it's one or the other that really knows that they're guilty, and one or the other that really knows that that it is their partner's fault, 100%. And that, my friends, is the demise of all potential healing. Hi, I'm David Essel. Now, what I'm going to tell you may sound very strange for individuals that have not worked in this field before, and it's definitely going to sound strange to some of our ego, our small ego, that wants to believe that in a relationship where there's an affair, someone is 100% responsible. But, you know, I've done videos on similar topics like this in the past, and I've got to tell you, in the 25 years of working with couples, whether they're just learning how to embrace each other's love or trying to come back from setbacks or trying to come back from affairs, the number one thing when it comes to affairs that we have to be able to come to an understanding about is that there is never, in all of my experience, there's never been a case where one person is 100% responsible. Now, the very first thing you're going to say is, that's insane, David, because I stayed in, I did not cheat, my husband cheated, my girlfriend cheated, my boyfriend cheated, my wife cheated, but I did not go out and have sex with anyone. It is not my fault, it is their fault. And I will share with you again, because I know this is very, very hard to understand. That's almost an impossibility. Now, maybe somewhere in the history of time there's been a couple where it has truly, totally been one person's responsibility. But I've never seen it, and honestly, with all my friends that are counselors, that are ministers, that are therapists, that are coaches in the world of relationship recovery, I have not heard any of them either say that they found a relationship where it was one person's fault. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's say you're the person that did not have the affair, and you're sitting there, and you might be a little pissed off at me right now, saying this guy is really whacked. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And this is what I'll say to that, is that there are signs that come up within a relationship, many, many, many signs, some overt, some covert, that we feel in our heart and soul that something's going on and we don't want to press it. We don't want to push. We don't want to look. There are other times when the person that did not cheat, now listen to this, that did not cheat, has learned how to manipulate their partner by shutting down. They've learned that since they're not getting what they want out of life, you're not going to get what you want out of life. That have pulled away, that have backed away, that have become way too involved with work or their tennis clubs or their social circle or their church. All well-meaning things. But in other words, the person that did not cheat is often the one who is shutting down. Now, they may have tried for a while to communicate and say, hey, honey, there's something wrong here and we need to talk. But if their partner continues to slide away, they may or may not have even had the affair yet. We, the individuals that do not cheat, often will pull back, and will pull back in a myriad of ways. And like I said a minute ago, some of them are really, really well-meaning ways, like we become highly involved with charity or work or a church or tennis or the gym or something. In other words, we're shutting down the relationship. We know there's something wrong, but we don't want to do the work to fix it. Now, this is the person that hasn't even cheated, you know. And then we look at the other side of the coin, the person that did have the affair, that went out in either emotional affairs or a physical affair. And we can see what their role is. It's quite blatant. But the key, and I promise you this is true, as bizarre as it sounds, is that if the relationship is to heal, the person that physically cheated or emotionally cheated has to fess up to what they did in totality. Once they've been found out, they've got to fess up to everything, and they have to be remorseful. They have to show the remorse over and over again, and they have to be willing to say they are sorry, and they will do what it takes to save the marriage, number one. Number two, the person that did not cheat has to do the same thing. Do you see? It's like this equal. It's like they've got to say what they have to look, and maybe they have to find through a coach or a counselor. They've got to find what their role is, because their small ego has already blocked them, saying you didn't do anything wrong, but we did. Okay, so you've got to find what you did wrong in the affair. You've got to apologize to your partner for the role that you did, and you have to be willing to do the same amount of work. Now, the very first time I explain this to couples who I'm working with, you can imagine that it doesn't go over real well. But over time, of all the couples I've worked with, and there's several that we have on our website who have endorsed this type of work, because it is a little different, I agree. Over time, they go, oh my Lord, he was right on. I had a much bigger role. Sometimes it ends up being a 50-50, sometimes a 49-51, sometimes a 60-40. But I haven't really ever seen it be less than a 60-40. The person that went out and had sex with someone else accepts 60% of responsibility, but the person that didn't, seriously, when they do this work, the exercises we give them and the way that we do all of this stuff to try to help the relationship heal, all of a sudden at the end of 8 weeks or 12 weeks or 16 weeks or 6 months, because it can take a while to rebuild trust and faith in love, all of a sudden they're coming to the plate saying, I can't believe the role I had. I remember now for 6 months prior to him or her having the affair, or a year prior, that I played a huge role. And let me tell you, I know it's not an easy thing to understand. I know it's not an easy thing to accept, but it is the truth and it does work. If I can help you at all, and don't forget also, we offer all this kind of information in very unique ways on our XM satellite radio show every Saturday, 6 to 9 Eastern Time, 3 to 6 Pacific on XM channel 168. And if you don't have XM, you can tune in live through our website, talkdavid.com, and just listen to it right on your computer. And also, if you have any other questions, email me at talkdavid.com. If I can help you, I'd love to, okay? I'm David Essel. Have a great day.